strategies from Kanye, right? Our fearless Kanye West. Now, listen, disclaimer or whatever you want to call it. Let me just say, we're not here to talk about the man. All right. We're not here to talk about that. I know I got some folks looking at me on LinkedIn and IG and wherever we're at. I get it. We are just here to extrapolate, okay, the strategy, the concept. That's our only thing. We're not here to debate about the man, what he done said, what he's done. I'm not saying that, I don't have not one album. Now, he's from my hometown for sure. But I believe, this is my belief, this is Kelly's belief. You don't condone the person, you condone the act, right? And y'all know how I feel about the man upstairs, God himself. So this is how I live. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you should like him. That's not. So let's just take our mind. Let's take a moment and say, okay, we're going to focus tonight's dialogue, our conversation on the strategy. That's what we're doing tonight. There will be someone else mentioned tonight. I already heard about what happened with him. Only thing we're extrapolating. Y'all remember this when we get to talking tonight. We're just going to take the strategy. We cool? We cool with that. We're not going to debate. We're not going to talk about if we like them or not. We're not going to do we're not doing all that. We're just going to take the strategy and we're going to see how we can make that applicable to us as corporate professionals. We cool with that, right? All right. Jay said, listen, y'all, we can go to Guam. I'm down. Let's do a business retreat and work on something. Listen, I'm with you, Jay. I'm with you. Okay, so we're going to prove in the piece what's happening. So tonight, all right, let's get our notepads and note papers, a lot of good strategies I'm going to pull out tonight, and I want you to be mindful of. So regardless of how we feel about what he said or what he's done in the past, tonight, the only thing we're after is the strategy, the concept. That's the only thing that we're after, okay? And as a side note, I want us to think about, and we talk a lot about that, about this in here. There may be people you don't like, right? We all have somebody that we like, I don't know about that person. Celebrity or non-celebrity. It could be a peer at work, could be a family member, right? I don't want us to lose out on opportunities based off of our emotions. And I can say that with conviction because I've done that. I've had to check myself here recently about different moves that I need to make in order to get me where I want to go. And I had to unattach emotionally. It's not an easy thing. So I do not want to make it seem like it's an easy thing and I got it all together because I don't. I'm telling you, I do not. I know sometimes at work, there's people we don't really care for. But I'm telling you, if you will allow yourself to unattach emotionally and think about what you can extrapolate from a person, even a place, there's some places like, I don't like it over there. And there's this vegan place I want to go, but where it's located, I don't like. But I want the food, right? So I have to unattach emotionally and maybe carry something with me. Just kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm just saying, as we build relationships, I'm going to be talking with my clients about this during our coaching clinic next week about networking. But as we continue on in being midlife corporate professionals and as we continue to grow and evolve, we want to get away from making decisions emotionally. That's really what I want to share. Okay, so let's give ourselves the gift tonight of being engaged and focusing on the strategy. Y'all with me? Gloria! Oh my gosh. I'm going to talk about Gloria later on. If I start, I'm going to start crying. She don't know this, but I was about to cry. She know what I'm talking about. Gloria said, not much scares me. I know that's right. Jay Rich is in the building. Good evening, all. Good evening. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Remember now, we've already committed to each other. We've committed to each other that we're going to just focus on the strategy. All right. I'm just sharing that because I already know, I already know how, not y'all, it's the comments in the YouTube videos. Y'all go look at some of my comments. You'll see what I'm talking about and why I have to say stuff like that, but that's neither here nor there. Here we go. Now, let's think about this, y'all. This is good. I worked hard on this for y'all. I worked hard. So let's listen, let's focus. Give yourself the gift of engaging. Pull out what you need. You may say, I know this already. Open your mind, allow yourself to be in the moment, engage, take notes, get from it what you can use and what you need. Let's go. Here's why: harnessing your midlife edge. Lessons from Kanye West's comeback journey for corporate professionals navigating midlife career challenges. This is an article from Forbes that says, here's why Kanye West dropped off the Forbes billionaires list. What does this tell us? This tells us one thing: he was on it. Kanye West lobbied for years to join the Forbes World's Billionaires list. And in 2020, after showing documents that proved his net worth, finally made it. But after a 3-year run, the controversially outspoken rapper has fallen off. Adidas announced in October 2022 that it was ending their lucrative Yeezy sneakers partnership with West, which made up the lion's share of his wealth. Now let's break this down. Let's start with this first sentence. And what I want you to do throughout tonight's dialogue is I want you to see if there's any correlation to where you are within your corporate journey, your corporate career journey. Is there anything that resonates with you? If we look at this first sentence, it says Kanye West lobbied for years to join the Forbes World's Billionaires list. And in 2020, after showing documents that proved his net worth, finally made it. How many of us inside of our corporate careers have asked our boss or our leadership team for a promotion or for a spot bonus or for a developmental increase or for a change of our job description or our job title or for more responsibility or to work on a stretch project or to do something different for years? For years, I'm thinking about somebody I used to work with. And before I got there, y'all heard the story, some of my OGs in here. For years, this person was trying to get into leadership and it was not happening for her. So for years, he's had to prove himself. How many of us have had to prove himself and still not receive what we believe we deserve? Right? The other thing I want you to make note of, because this is going to be important later, is that the deal with Adidas, you can see in this very last sentence, made up the lion's share of his wealth. That just means that's where most of his wealth came from. It's from the partnership with Adidas. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, your employer is your partner. This may be a mindset shift for some of you because you haven't thought of them as your partner. Your employer is your partner. You all have come into agreement. Didn't you sign an offer letter? That's an agreement that you're going to do this. They're going to do this. We're going to give you 50% on your 401k. We're going to give you benefits. We're going to pay you biweekly. We're going to pay you on the 1st and the 15th or 15th and 30th, whatever it is. Here's what you're going to do. You agreed that you're going to come in. You're going to do a good job. You're going to come in at this time. You're going to do these particular tasks. You're in a partnership. Now, how you leverage that partnership is on you. How you leverage the partnership is on you. It's a partnership. If they're not holding up their end of the deal, what are you doing about it? Are you settling? Are you just taking what's given to you? Or are you shaking things up a bit and you're asking questions? Let's keep going. This is the parallel. Remember, I told you we're going to look for corporate parallels. We just talked about how he had to fight, right, to get on the Forbes list. He had to prove his point. And then he lost it all. Today, this came in just a few hours ago. Google lays off thousands more employees despite record profits 1 year after laying off 12,000 employees as workers begin worrying AI is slowly replacing them. This came in a few hours ago. The parallel here is this: the resilience, right, in adversity. Kanye, he lost the deals. He lost all the deals, and we're going to hear from him in a second, right? He had to fight to get on the Forbes list. I'm a billionaire. Here's my receipts. All right, we'll put you on there. He lost everything. He's no longer on there. Now, what is he doing? Here's the parallel in corporate America. During the pandemic, after post-pandemic, all these tech companies, they were hiring like crazy. What are they doing now? Most of the layoffs are coming from where, right? So a lot of people that wanted to go into tech, transition and pivoting into tech. Everybody wanted to go into tech, but after the pandemic, that's all I received. People that wanted to transition into tech. They're laying off the most. Let's listen. Hopefully this flips over. Let's take a listen to this. I'm watching to see if this flips over for you guys.
With what, if anything, the signals for the labor market? We're welcoming in Betsy Stevenson, professor of public policy and economics at the University of Michigan. Betsy, it's great to see you as we try to sort of decipher where the labor market is now and where it's going. How should we read these public layoff announcements when we're trying to extrapolate what's going on under the surface?
You know, I think it's incredibly difficult to look at a single company or even a handful of companies' layoff notices and make draw conclusions about the broader economy. Let's step back and put it in perspective. Every single week in a booming economy like we've had, roughly 200,000 people lose their job and are able to file for the very first time for unemployment insurance. So the numbers you're talking about are still small and relative to that 200,000. To give you another way to put it in perspective, every month, about 1.5 million people are laid off in the U.S. economy when the U.S. economy is doing well. So in a normal economy, we have a lot of movement. And in fact, that's actually one of the strengths of the U.S. economy, that there are people who get new jobs. There's new opportunities. You know, there's 8 million jobs open right now. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. And then when things aren't working out, when you realize you have too many people, when whatever business you have tried to expand into is just not going as well, you cut back. And that's certainly hard on individual people. And I have, like anyone, empathy for people who've actually got those pink slips, who lose their job. But it is very difficult to say that this is some kind of warning sign for the economy. In order for us to conclude there's a warning sign, I think we're going to want to see the broader numbers, those aggregate numbers, starting to move.
Yeah, it sounds like, Betsy, I have heard some folks kind of question, they see these headlines, Betsy, about these tech layoffs. They do wonder whether that's a kind of tell. Is that a kind of canary in the coal mine for the broader labor market? It doesn't sound, though, like you see it that way.
And for sure, there are people who are like, is this the canary in the coal mine? Should we be looking at this as, more to come? Those initial unemployment insurance claims, they come out every week. So we're not lagging behind in that data. What we saw during the pandemic was the tech sector hired more than anyone else. They really got ahead of their skis. We've already been through, one round of, whoa, the tech sector is laying a bunch of people off. What does this mean for the broader economy? Turned out it meant nothing bad for the broader economy. It meant a healing economy, which was reallocating people away from a bloated tech sector towards sectors that were struggling to hire people who were in demand. I think that's the open question right now. There's still a lot of hiring out there. It's obviously not as booming of a labor market as it was, a year and a half ago. But the question will be, is this tech sector, a canary in the coal mine, or is this more reallocation to places where we need people more than we need them in the tech sector? I think we do still have a healing economy, so I feel very confident that people are going to be reabsorbed into other parts of the labor market. But there is a difference right now. We are in a normalizing, slowing labor market. And for certain people who are experiencing layoffs are not going to find it as easy to get a job that is as well paying or as good as what they had before. And that's going to make people are feeling some pain.
So I know this is a little lengthy, but I wanted you all to hear this, one, because it just came out, and two, to really think about what she just said. And I know it was a lot. Of course, you'll have this to watch on the replay, but a couple of things I just wanted to make note of here is 8 million jobs currently open. 8 million jobs currently open. She mentioned. She mentioned that post-pandemic, a lot of the tech companies, they overhired. It's similar to when you get on a plane and they ask people to, are you flexible with your dates? Because they overbook the plane, right? So the tech sector, the tech industry, the tech domains, the FANG companies, Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Meta, right? All of them, they overhired, and they realized that it was bloated, just like she said. So they've been letting people go, right? And so in thinking about that now, she just mentioned, where are all of these people going to be reabsorbed in the different industries, healthcare, manufacturing, oil and energy, consumer products and goods, right? Where are they going to be reabsorbed? So when we're looking at the parallel between what Kanye did, right? He fought for, right? Similar to the tech industry, he showed what he had, right? To say, hey, I'm a billionaire. I got all this going on. And then it was taken away from him. These tech corporations, they hired all these people, right? And all these people thought this is a booming industry. This is where I'm going to go. Kelly, help me change my resume. Help me to transition. I want to go in tech. Everybody's going to tech. That's where all the money is. It's one thing to make a lot of money. It's another thing to be looking for a job 30 days later, right? So you want to think about, before you start making a move, you want to do your research, ensure and do your best to ensure there's demand there. It's a stable industry. It's a stable domain. It's a stable sector, right? So I wanted to show the correlation here to fighting for what you want, but make sure you are fighting in a space where it makes sense and you're not moving off of emotion, because this is what everybody else is doing. This is what the masses are doing. You have to know your value. You have to know what you bring to the table. Otherwise, there will be no table. You'll be sitting in a chair. I want you to think about your skill set, and we're going to talk about that coming up next. All right, here's his approach. Let's take a listen. Listen to the concept, not the man, y'all. The concept. Let me pull it back some.
Do you think the controversy helped you?
It wasn't about the controversy. It was about the ability to say how you felt out loud. And if I didn't have the various skill sets of music and clothing and a fan base, they would have been able to destroy me. But because we had all those skill sets, somehow I'm here inside of this universe, able to fight.
You can't be destroyed with a peer.
Thank you. Love you. I love all the people that support it. And you know what I'm saying? We needed to have something that was Apple level. You know, where's the Apple level? It's just me and my bro Elon. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Some of the streaming platforms removed.
So what he's saying, right? Again, he said that it was a skill set. Let me take it from the beginning. I think I want you to hear from the beginning. Let's listen to this one more time.
All over the world. You know what it is?
I heard you made $19 million off that Super Bowl ad too.
Well, that's the people have always wanted that, you know. And I went to different companies, and they would never let me bring it like that. It was always ways that they were blocking us from getting the prices. So I had to leave from those companies, and you know, I was two months. I'm gonna just be honest with you, I was 2 months from going bankrupt.
Really?
And I put everything I had into it. We moved to Italy. We moved to the factories, and we survived. We survived through the cancellation. We're back number one.
Do you think the controversy helped you?
It wasn't about the controversy. It was about the ability to say how you felt out loud. And if I didn't have the various skill sets of music and clothing and a fan base, they would have been able to destroy me. But because we had all those skill sets, somehow I'm here inside of this universe.
He's talking about the skills, you all. Remember, we're looking for our nugget, right? We're looking at our nugget. We're not thinking about how we feel about the man. We're looking for our nugget and the concept and the strategy. Y'all know I'll never bring anything to you where I think it's just off-centered and not able to resonate with us. So if we look at the skill set, he mentioned that y'all saw when he was walking in, he said, we're back on top. We're number one. What he meant by that was he had an album that came out. It's number one. His clothing line, right? He put everything on the site for $20. When he was working with Adidas, everything was at minimum $200. He actually refunded people because there was a glitch in the site. Some people had paid and he refunded them $180 because he wanted everything to be $20. So he had music, he had clothing, and he already had a fan base. So he leveraged his 3 skill set. And we're going to go deeper in a second, right? To get back after he was knocked down. We know he was a billionaire. We know he got knocked down because of his lion's share partnership with Adidas, where he made most of his wealth, right? So if we pause for a second and we think about how this correlates to us as midlife corporate professionals, where do we receive our lion's share of our wealth, of our net worth? From our employers. Some of us may have side hustles. Some of us may do things on the side, but the lion's share of the money that we receive comes from our employer. That's the partnership. And I want you to start thinking about your employer as your partner. It's give and take. It's not just you giving. There should be a partnership there. So the lion's share of what you receive from your partner, right? For Kanye, it was gone. So what did he do? He used and leveraged his skill set being music, clothing, and he took what he already had, which was his fan base. Some of us already have skills. We already have experience. We already have knowledge and talent in certain areas, right? And he used that. He said, I left where I was. I left because Adidas and other distributors, they wanted a certain price point. They marketed their clothing to certain distributors. How many of us have gone and applied to different employers and they didn't see our value? So we felt rejected. We felt, and we took it personal, but we didn't keep going. We didn't persevere. We didn't become resilient. Just like Gloria was saying, I'm going to keep going, right? I have a set of skills. I know I'm of value. I know I have something. This is what he's saying. This is the strategy. I know I have some. I just have to think about it. How many of you all saw his ad? Drop in the comments. Did any of you see his ad? He pulled out his phone. He said, this is my ad. I took everything that I had and I invested it in this ad. He was in a car. He was driving. It wasn't fancy. There was no production team. There wasn't any, production. It was his iPhone and him in a car driving. This is my ad, is what he said. You can Google this. I have everything on my site for $20. You can go to yeezy.com and buy it there. He took a chance. He bet on himself. He invested in himself. He took everything he had and said, I'm betting on myself and my skill set and my knowledge. I've been doing this long enough. I'm over 40. I got enough skills. I'm going to bet on me. I'm going to take the combination of skills that I have and I'm betting on me. This is the correlation. This is his approach. Now, let's take a look. See if it'll let me go here. How many of you remember this cartoon? Drop in the comments the name of the cartoon. Drop in the comments the name of this cartoon. If you remember this, if you remember the name of this cartoon, drop it in the comments. Here's the parallel. Here's the parallel.
We're here with legendary cartoonist Scott Adams, who writes and draws the brilliant Dilbert cartoon strip, talking about the new book, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. So, Scott, in this book, it's 230 pages of success principles and how you succeeded in your career and in life. But the first thing you say is, it's never a good idea to take advice from cartoonists. Do you think your pitch needs a little work?
You know, I don't know how many people have ever died from taking advice from cartoonists, but it's probably non-zero. I mean, somebody probably died from that. So I like to tell people, don't take my advice. I'm offering information.
Scott, here's what you call the success formula. Every skill you acquire doubles your odds of success. You can raise your market value by being merely good, not extraordinary, at more than one skill. How does that formula explain your success?
Well, if you take me as the perfect example of this, I'm a poor artist. Certainly in the beginning, I've kind of through brute force brought myself up to mediocre. I've never taken a writing class, but I can write. I'm okay. You put me in a room of writers, I'm not going to be the best one. If I have a party at my house, I'm not the funniest person in the room, but I'm a little bit funny. I can write a little bit. I can draw a little bit. You put those three together and you have Dilbert, and it's a fairly powerful force. Add on top of that I have an MBA, I've got business experience, all of that works in. So I've got a bunch of fairly average talents that only the sum of them makes them valuable. And I think almost anybody could follow that formula. There are things such as communication skills, public speaking, writing better. You layer that on anything, and you're going to be the boss, not the worker.
What I find.
So we heard what he said, right? He said, I have average, skills. I'm a little bit funny, not the funniest person in the room. I can write a little bit. I can draw a little bit, right? And I put those together, and now he's a multimillionaire because he used and leveraged his skills. So when people come to me and say, well, Kelly, I don't have any metrics to put on my resume. I don't have any data points. I don't really do a lot. I'm just this, or I'm only this. You're never only anything. You have talent. You have skills. What you're missing, where the disconnect is the critical thinking to think about, how do I leverage the things that I have and what I know and put them together? Just like he said, it raises your market value when you can put the combination of skills you have together and then present that to the market. And when I say the market, I'm just saying putting it out there for people to see so that recruiters and hiring managers and stakeholders can see the combination of skills that you have together. There's 1,000 or more people with the same job title you have right now. And most of us, if not you, somebody you know, will go into an interview or go to their boss or go into that promotion interview and say the same thing because you're thinking that's what they want to hear, but you're not leveraging, yeah, I do this and I also do this and I also do this. Jay was telling us the other week about storytelling and how to put all of that and encapsulate it in a story that shares a narrative of, no, I'm not just a data analyst person. I'm just not a manager. I'm just not a doctor. But I'm a doctor that works with little kids on their pinky toe. I'm a specialist at pinky toes. There's a lot of podiatrists, right? But I work on pinky toes, right? How do you put that combination together? Now, I will say that if you're thinking about, well, I can do a lot of different things. I like doing this. Now, we're not talking about somebody who knows how to juggle and also is good at Excel spreadsheets, because that's really not a combination we're looking for. But if there's a person that's good at communicating and also good at Excel spreadsheets and data, this is a person that can put those two together and can become a storyteller of data. That's a need and a demand in the market right now. So when you think about the skills that you have, how can you leverage it in the market? We just saw the news reporting saying, yeah, there's a ton of jobs out here. There are a ton. But there are also a ton of people getting laid off. And somebody somewhere is going to absorb these people. We know every company pretty much is a tech company, whether they define themselves or describe themselves as a tech company or not. There are technical components in every company. So imagine all of these tech people being laid off and they start thinking about, you know what, I can do this over here in healthcare. I can do this also over in, consumer products and goods. I can do this in manufacturing as well. these people will get picked up. So they're going to leverage their technical knowledge. And I want you to start thinking about, okay, what combination can I now present to the marketplace to share that not only can I do Excel pivot tables and formulas, but I'm also a great communicator. You take myself, for example. I've always been told that I'm a great communicator. I also know talent acquisition. I also know how to market. I put those together. And you have what you're looking at right now. So I'm going to give you some examples, but if you want me to look, I'm going to do this for free for the next 9 days to the end of February. If you want me to look at your resume, or if you want to share with me what you're thinking, or if you don't know how to think about it, I will look at your resume and I'll just send you a note back to say, you know what, have you ever thought about putting these skills together? Because sometimes we're too close to it and we may not see what others can see. If you will go to the first link at iamkellyjackson.com, fill out that form, just copy and paste your resume on there. I'll take a look at it and I'll send you a note back. It's totally free. If that's something you're interested in, I will do that for you, totally free. If you're watching the replay, this is for just this month. So if you watch this during this month, I'll do this for you for free. So let's continue. Let me give you some examples of how to think about this, okay? Because this is new. I know it's a new concept, but I want to give you some ways to think about this. Let's see if we can get this to move. Okay, here we go. So here's how you can think about this, right? Again, I'm offering to do this for you for free, but if you want to do this on your own, I wanted to give you some examples so you can think about this on your own, okay? So it's a matter of combining skills. We started talking and looking at Kanye. He shared with us what he did. He said, I would have lost it all, right? If I didn't have music, if I didn't have clothing, if I didn't have my fan base, I leveraged my skills and now I'm back number one. I'm back on top, right? Same thing with Scott, with Dilbert, right? He felt that he was discriminated against. If you know about his story, he was trying to get promoted. And there was a lot of diversity initiatives going on. He recently said some things that were racist. He said it. He said, I'm a racist. He said it. We're not getting into all of that. Again, we're just taking and we're extrapolating the concept, right? And the strategy. And he said, so I took my skills and I put them together. I'm a little funny. I can draw a little bit and I can write. And now I'm a multimillionaire. So here's how you do this. You combine skills. This is what I'm going to do if you want me to do this for you. The first thing I'm going to do is explore any complementary skills that you have, right? I have the form available when you go to iamkellyjackson.com, Kelly with an I. It's going to ask you specific questions so I can extrapolate those skills, right? So I'm going to explore. You can do the same thing. You can do this on your own. Explore complementary skills. I'm going to give you some examples as well. That's the first thing you want to do. Then you want to identify your skill set. So you're thinking about it. You're exploring. You know what? I like to do this. I'm passionate about this. I can juggle a little bit. I'm a good communicator. I like to make people laugh. I know how to do pivot tables. I can write really well. I'm a good communicator. Also a good listener. I also like to do. So you're exploring. And now you're identifying, okay, I'm gonna try this combination. Excuse me, and see what this brings. And then you're going to create that unique combination together. And then from there, you're going to implement a career strategy. I'll also give you that as well. So when I look at your stuff, if you send it to me, then we'll talk about a career strategy as well. Then you're going to implement a career strategy. So this is this first lady, marketing and data analysis. She's a marketing professional. She learned data analysis. So she leveraged this combination and it allowed her to not only create compelling marketing strategies, but also to precisely measure their effectiveness, making them invaluable in roles that required both creative and analytical skills. So this made her an invaluable asset. So some of you are working right now where you may be a liability to the company because they don't recognize your combination of skills that you bring to the table. They need to be able to see your value, right? This gentleman up here, upper right hand that I'm looking at, it says IT and communication skills. This is an IT expert who honed their communication and presentation skills. Their ability to explain complex technical concepts in simple terms made them a key liaison between technical teams and non-technical stakeholders. So he's able to go into organizations and talk that tech talk to people that are non-technical. So he's the liaison. So some of these folks that are getting laid off in the tech community, they're going to leverage and say, you know what, here's something that I could do, right? This finance and digital marketing, a finance professional who branched out into digital marketing. So she was in finance. She branched out into digital marketing. This unique mix enabled them to understand the financial implications of marketing campaigns and to drive strategies that were both cost-effective and impactful. That's brilliant. She's a finance person. She knows numbers. She knows all about P&L statements, balance statement, all the things, right? So now she's going and she took that skill set into digital marketing, right? And she helped with marketing campaigns. So the budget for a marketing campaign. The last one is a project manager in graphic design, a project manager who also develops skills in graphic design. So she's a project manager. She also has skills in graphic design. This unique blend allowed them to not only oversee and coordinate projects, but also contribute directly to the creative aspect of these projects. So she can get creative with the projects. Their ability to understand and manage the workflow while also contributing to the design process made them an invaluable asset in creative industries. Do you see the theme of becoming invaluable? Everybody, unfortunately, and I know we don't like to hear this, but everybody's replaceable. I had to share this with my daughter. You want to make yourself an asset immediately. And if you're not speaking up for yourself, who else will? Make yourself invaluable. Y'all with me? All right. So as we're wrapping up, here's just key notes for you to take. Embracing diverse skill sets. 1, explore your passions outside of your core role. So go outside, stretch a little bit. Identify adjacent skills like Kanye did with fashion and business ventures while pursuing music, right? He identified outside of being a rapper and doing the music thing, he went into fashion and business ventures. Yes, he's a celebrity. Yes, he has money, but it doesn't take all of that to think. We all got a mind and think just like him, right? Take on new projects, volunteer for cross-functional teams and assignments to build diverse experiences. I told you all years ago, for those of you that's been with me for a while, where I worked for this lady for free. She was in the real estate. I wanted to learn the real estate game. I worked for her for free. I did HR for her for free. I volunteered for free. That's knowledge I'm going to have for the rest of my life. Right? Learn emerging technologies, take online courses and training and new technical skills that are shaping your industry. Robin did that. She took a course. I shared with everybody last August. She hopped on it. No questions asked. She said, Kelly, I'm done. I did it. She has a prompt engineering certification. She said a couple weeks ago, she's in the comments, ask her right now. She said, my boss was shocked that I knew prompt engineering. But guess what? They know she knows. If anything pops off, if anything comes up, who are they going to go to for prompt engineering? Think about it, y'all. You're making yourself invaluable. Just like Kanye, midlife professionals should continuously diversify their skill sets and embrace new learning opportunities to stay adaptable in a changing world. Age is an asset, you all. Let age be your asset, not your liability. We know how old we are. We know it's a blessing to get this age. I don't care what anybody says. We also know there's age discrimination. We know people are looking at the dates on our resume. We know people are looking at the length of our resume. We know people are looking at our gray hair. They're looking at our glasses. But I'm telling you, if you set yourself up as an asset, people need solutions to their problems. They don't give a darn how old you are. If you can solve the problem, and you're able to communicate your value and showcase your value, they need you. They're looking for you. Kanye West's continued musical innovation and business success in his 40s underscores that creativity and achievement aren't dependent on youth. For mid-career professionals, maturity and experience are assets that enable deeper perspective and knowledge to add value in leadership roles. Now, I'm going to have to touch on this on another session, but there is a gap right now in leadership roles because the baby boomers are retiring. The youngest is 60, the oldest is 68, and most of them are white men that have been in leadership roles. And right now there's a gap. I'm studying this for us, and I will bring this to us soon. All right, what do we think? Was this valuable? What y'all talking about? Let me know. How do we feel about this, y'all? How do we feel about this? How do we feel about this? Was this helpful? Let me see what y'all doing over there on IG, if I got anybody, if I need to shut down. Let me know. Any takeaways? Any takeaways? Any takeaways? Any ahas? How do we feel about this? How do we feel about this? I'm going to take that off. It was good? Okay, Gigi says yes. Camille said very valuable as always. Thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So listen, what do we want to take away from this? What do we want to take away? What do we want to take away? Good info? Okay, awesome, awesome. Is that Susie Q? Once you're live, if you're streaming, we're having trouble streaming to Instagram. Okay, that's fine. I can remove it. Hopefully this don't turn us off. Oh God. I just removed it. Save changes. So we want to take away, hey, Susie Q, we want to take away just a combination of skills, right? I don't want you to ever think that I'm too old because that's what's put in front of you. Or if somebody says you're overqualified, that really burns me up. How could you be overqualified? That just means you have a lot of qualifications, right? Also, it's very critical to know how to market ourselves. Awesome, awesome, Derek. Jay said, I contributed my skills to a LinkedIn group of entrepreneurs for free, and now I'm headed to Granada to help younger. Look at that. Look at that. For free. There you go, Jay. I love it. Congrats on that. Listen, you all, don't get so caught up because everything is not about money, right? Everything is you can learn a lot just by availing yourself to people. Look at Jay. He's getting ready to go to Granada now to help young entrepreneurs. When I worked with that lady I did that for several people. I actually got another person years ago that I worked for free. I have the knowledge now. It's never going anywhere, right? You have to make it make sense, right? It has to be something that you actually want to have knowledge of and learn about, but offer yourself, avail yourself to learning new things, sometimes for free, y'all. It's okay. It's okay. So we want to take the combination of skills that we have. I had a video, but I don't know why it didn't show. I shared it a few weeks ago at one of the events that I did, but it was talking about the rare skills. I don't know why it didn't show. Let me see. But yeah, this is what I wanted you all to take away from what he did and how, and I know his goal, right, is to get back to where he was. And I get it, right? If we were at that level, it does something to you, right? It's just like taking a demotion or taking less when we know we're worth more, taking, 45,000 when we know we should be getting 90,000. You feel a way, right? On the inside, you feel a way. I got to get back to where I was, right? I get it. I totally get it. Regardless of what you feel about either Scott or Kanye, I just wanted you to look at the strategy and the concept and know that people of all levels in all different spaces, right? They leverage. That just means use what you have to get what you want. Don't ever think, right? And I know people that say this and it just like because of their title, they think, I don't really know much. I don't really do much. Don't ever say that. You do, stuff. Everybody stuff. We can learn stuff from little kids, right? We can learn something from everyone, regardless if you like them or don't like them. Because I know people are going to say, well, he did it. That ain't the point. I got books by Trump that I've read from front to back. He knows something, right? Regardless, like him or not. I watch Fox, I watch CNN, right? I learn everything. I just learned. Right. And we have to open our minds to that. This is more about critical thinking and unattaching emotionally and going with the masses because everybody doing it. Let them be over there. Not you. Y'all with me? A young millionaire cat named Alex Hermanzi said it's too late in life to take a step backwards to move forward. Right. Hey, Sandra, what's up? What's up? What's up? All right. I'm hoping that this was valuable to you all. I wanted to share this with you. I thought about it and I said, you know how you're not sure. You're not sure. I'm like, you know what? It's good information. I just think sometimes we miss it, right? I'm guilty of that. I miss things because I'm emotionally attached to it. And when I remove my emotions, I'm like, you know what? That was smart. That was pretty smart. You know, how do you do that? How so-and-so do that? How she do that? You know, Robin said, continuing my knowledge gathering, attended Black AI think tank. Oh, I know about them. And tomorrow attending Chat Black GPT listing tour, exploring bias in that. Go ahead, girl. I ain't even mad at you. Go ahead, Robin. Get it all, girl. Get it all. Y'all, there's so much. There's a lot of free information as well. Alex Hermanzi gave away his service for free when he was poor and with high value that they had no choice to give back to. That's it. I think we miss that because we go after the money so much. We miss the opportunity to be of service, right? And so just like when I show up on YouTube or wherever, it's to be of service, not give you junk, right? You could have stayed in the bed for that. I could have stayed in the bed for that. I always ask because I want to make sure that it benefits you. It's a value to you. One, because I love to do this. Y'all can tell. You can tell when people love what they do. So why not share? Where else is the knowledge going to go? Why not give it to people and let them do research and let them use it and let them benefit from it? Right? I don't even think about getting it back. I just love it and so full of it. I got sessions for 5 years that come to mind that I want to talk about. Right? And what happens is, Gloria, I don't know if she's gone or not. She's my client. And today she did. I'll share with you all probably the end of this week. Just if you're not following me on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed there. But she did a testimonial. She don't know this for me today. And she don't know, it touched me so. It touched me so. Because sometimes, and this is kind of veering off from what we're discussing, but I just want to share from the thinking about giving yourself and being of service. Sometimes you're not sure, right? You all know that I rebranded and all of that, and it was a risk for me. It was a risk for me, but all my life I've taken risks. All my life I've taken risks. Some calculated, some not. But when I do, I bet on me. I don't know everything. I go sometimes with a feeling, if I'm being totally honest with you. And what she shared, I can't even talk about it now because I'm gonna get emotional. It's just like, you don't like, I don't think of myself in that way. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think of myself sometimes in that way. And I know I can motivate y'all or motivate other people, but sometimes I just do it because I do it. Y'all know what I'm saying? But when you hear from someone about, and I'm not gonna go there, y'all will see it. Y'all will see it. But when you hear from somebody else, it's like wow. You know, it's just like wow. So I share that because give of yourself, y'all. It don't hurt. Can't nobody take nothing from you that's yours. Don't worry about nobody copying or whatever. If they do, it's flattering. They can have all the ingredients, but the sauce ain't gonna taste the same, right? I've seen people. I saw this one person and I commented. I was emotionally attached. I was being emotional, and she said word for word something I know that I've only said only because of the words that I used. And I just commented and I was just like, interesting. But hey, listen, can't nobody beat you being you. Can't nobody beat me being me. And people smart these days. You can't fool anybody. If you're full of crap, they gonna know because it's gonna show. If you're not who you are, it's going to show. That's why they did 90 days probation back in the day. Because after 90 days, who you really are, it's going to show. If you don't really know something, it's going to show. So don't be afraid of giving of yourself and make sure, it's worth it. But just to give yourself freely in things that and, for the most part, people are good people. For the most part, people are good people. Y'all know what I'm saying? You're welcome, Sean. Hey, Ladybug. I haven't been on Threads in a minute. Have you been over there? I think about you every time I go over there. That's the same thing you get on us. But right. That's true. Oh, Gloria, don't. I appreciate you. Y'all, she I'm gonna let y'all watch it because I'm gonna let y'all watch it. I'm gonna post it probably this weekend. She did amazing. The Lady Diva ATL, the knowledge you share is very much for, oh, you're so welcome. Welcome, Lady Diva. Sandra said, I went to a volunteer orientation tonight for the USO. I want to support and advocate for military families. Now, Sandra she's been like this since I've met her. How many years has it been, Sandra? Some of y'all, yeah, we've been doing this a long time. Robin, we've been doing this a long time. Sandra has always just, even in the Facebook group, if y'all go back, if there's a job open, she's always been a giver. And for some reason, I'm drawn to people that just, we can't take it with us, y'all. Like there's just it doesn't matter. I'm helping a few people with getting their businesses going, right? With starting their own consulting practice. And one of the things that they all say is, I don't want nobody to steal my idea. I don't want, listen, Linda, listen. Nobody can take, especially if God gave it to you. It's yours. That's it. That's all. And here's the other thing that I know about people. They're not going to do like you do. They're not going to put in the work like you do. They're not going to do it. The reason why I know Robin going to always be okay, she asks questions. She reaches out. She served. When I had the Discord, now I asked Derek, and thank God for Derek. He said, yeah, whatever you need. I didn't even ask Robin. I just made her a moderator because I love her spirit. I love her, the way that she gives. She gives freely, and she's always helping in the comments. We were on an event. Robin don't know that I saw her. We were on it was an event. I don't even know what it was, but Robin was like, you should reach out to Kelly. Like, she will help you. Like I don't know what the lady asked, but I'm just like, people, it comes back. You know what I mean? It just comes back. If you do right by people and if you're just a good person, not perfect, because none of us are perfect. It's just reciprocity. I think it's a law. Don't you think I just think people are good overall. And so I do my best. And I know people have done me wrong. Y'all think, and people may think that people that have business online are scams, but I'm telling you, there's been people that, that you work with that will try to scam you. And it's happened, and it's hurtful because you come from a good place, but you have to chalk it up to part of the game. Just like at work, your boss may take credit for stuff you did, but you darn sure ain't going to let it happen again. Right? You ain't going to let it happen again. Y'all know what I'm saying? 4 years? Oh, it's been a long time, Sandra. Long time. Sandra said, I have no prior experience, but I want to see where this goes. Maybe it will turn into a paid position overseas. It may, girlfriend. It may. Hang in there. All right, y'all. Hopefully this was helpful. Y'all give me a thumbs up if you liked it. I appreciate you all hanging out with your girl. We're back next week. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on. We're going to do another AI session because there's a lot happening. I know it could be overwhelming, confusing, some things we don't want to talk about, but there's some things we need to talk about. So as soon as I get all of that together, we'll definitely, we'll talk about that. And always, if there's something that you all want to talk about, I know some of y'all hit me up on Instagram and Facebook Messenger and things like that. And I'm like, sure, if it's something, because I can come up with topics all the time, but if it's not helping or benefiting you, what's the point, right? So let me know if there's something, and I'm always happy to share. I love you all very, very much. Oh, you know what? Side note, this has nothing to do with anything we talked about today, but this just dropped in my lap this afternoon. I always share opportunities with my clients first, so they know about this already. But I have a opportunity for those. I don't think anybody in here, I think I pretty much know what all of you all do, but if you know of someone that has 100% commission, am I saying that right? 100% commission-based sales experience, I have some opportunities available. They have to have 100% commission-based sales experience. Now, this is a different You don't have to cold call. You don't have to knock on nobody's door. You don't have to, you already get the leads. So it's totally legit. I wouldn't fool with it if it wasn't. If you know of someone, or if you have that, this is a cool gig. You can make some really great money. It is a contract role. And I'll give you more details. If you want to go to IamKellyJackson.com, Kelly with an I, go ahead and fill out that first link, fill out that form. I know I just said that was for if you want the skills analysis, but if you fill out that form and just write me a note and say, hey, Kelly, I'm interested in the sales position, copy and paste your resume in there so I can see your experience. It has to be, you have to have the sales experience. All right. That's you have to have that. If you have it, then I'll definitely reach back out to you. And this is a great gig. It could be lucrative. It can make money for, you know, if you just need a side gig or whatever for a few months to get, you know, whatever, it's a great opportunity. So if you know someone, go to that link also and put that in there. All right. All right, my friends, I'll see you next week. Be safe, stay healthy, and yeah, have a good evening. See you later. Love you guys. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.